Next on News Channel 13 at noon, schools back in session for thousands of Central Indiana students. We'll have a live report from Wayne Township where kids are already returning.
Also ahead, Tropical Storm Beryl leaves a devastating mark in South Carolina. Officials say they need federal aid.
And the Pacers' Reggie Miller makes the late-night talk show rounds. He trades barbs with Jay Leno.
We're live from the Indiana State Fair where agriculture is on parade for the annual Farm Bureau Farmers Day Parade. It's a good time. Jeremy Rogalski will tell you about that. And I'll have a forecast that's really warming up. It's next on Indiana's News Channel at noon.
This is a News Channel 13 News Update.
The school bell sounds for students in districts throughout Central Indiana, but are most kids ready to go back to school? Good afternoon at this noontime. I'm Kevin Rader.
And I'm Glendal Jones. Topping our news, summer vacation is over for hundreds of youngsters in Wayne Township. They're among the first students heading back to school. Linda Moore is live at one elementary school where students are eager to start the fall semester. Linda?
They really are, Glendal. It is the first full day of school here at North Wayne Elementary School, and administrators say that so far everything has run pretty smoothly. Now, I might add that this is a brand new school for the students and the parents and the teachers to enjoy. And in fact, crews are still putting final touches on some of the on the parking lot and also the interior of the school. Now, this morning, students began their day with orientation sessions. Parents were invited to come also to learn about curriculum and transportation schedules. The students got tours of their new school and their school buses, learning all of the rules. They also checked out the cafeteria to find out how to use personal cards to get their daily lunches. Back in the classroom, education got underway. These first graders learned spelling through song. Summer is nearing an end, and it's hard to believe that the start of school is here already, but the students say that they are ready. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I like school.
Why do you like it?
Well, because I'm happy about it.
You're looking forward to all your classes and teachers, friends. What about your friends? You make new friends here?
Yeah.
Now, Wayne Township elementary schools have undergone some redistricting, and here at North Wayne, the students were pulled from about 3 other elementary schools, and school lets out here today at 2:30. Now, the principal promises a surprise on Friday for the students and for the teachers. They get a free gift, a T-shirt that symbolizes their first day of classes at their brand new school. Glendal, back to you.
That sounds nice. You know, like you said, it is hard to believe that school's already in session.
It really is hard to believe, but like I said, the kids are very enthusiastic about starting.
Great. Thank you, Linda. Kevin?
While several school districts are open today, a plan to close some IPS schools has been scrapped. The school board rejected the school closing plan put together by former Superintendent Dr. Cheryl Gilbert. Gilbert appointed only administrators to recommend which schools should be closed. But last night, the new board decided parents and taxpayers should be on the panel as well. The new committee has not yet been named. Also, during last night's meeting, the board took taxpayer feedback on the 1995 budget that includes a tax hike that would add about $30 per year on a tax for a $60,000 home.
Just looking at the bottom line is not enough. You must also ask if IPS can afford to keep self-serving administrators who are more concerned about bigger salaries and lighter workloads than they are about our children's education.
The budget for next year will cost $312 million. The board also voted to freeze new IPS construction projects except in emergency cases. While IPS is taking unprecedented steps to make sure your kids will be transported to school on time this year. For the first time in IPS history, IPS and contract bus drivers will have 3 days of test runs, the first of which was today. Drivers negotiated the routes as best they could and then returned to report any problems they may have encountered along the way. Tomorrow and Friday, parents will be boarding the buses to test the routes as well.
They need to go to the stop as if it was a normal school day, meet the bus. It'll take them on a round trip and bring them back to their stop. We see this as an ideal opportunity for them to see firsthand how the run works and to offer any feedback or comments that they might have before school begins.
The IPS Transportation Hotline is busy as well, taking about 350 calls a day this week. If you have any questions, you're urged to call 226-4500.
Indianapolis homicide detectives are searching for 2 suspects in the murder of a Northeast Side man overnight. 38-year-old David Bailey was shot twice outside his home near 37th in Baltimore. One bullet hit Bailey in the back, the other hit him in the leg. Bailey was rushed to Wishart Hospital where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. Investigators say it was a large caliber gun that killed him. Officers are on the lookout for a compact light blue car that the suspects were seen driving just before the shooting. O.J. Simpson is back in court today. Controversy brews over what evidence the defense is requesting from the prosecution. John Gibson now has the latest from Los Angeles.
There's a mound of evidence in the Simpson case at the crime scene, at O.J. Simpson's house, in O.J. Simpson's car. But the defense thinks there is more evidence the police department is either holding back or not acting on that would tend to exonerate Simpson. In previous hearings, the judge has ordered the prosecution to share that information. And this hearing is to determine if the defense is getting the cooperation it is entitled to. The testimony of a former burglar is an example. The police did interview him, and for a while the defense thought he was a star witness because he said he saw 2 white men leaving the scene of the crime. He turned out to be a notorious liar and was rejected by both sides. If there is more that the police department has in its possession that will demonstrate O.J. Simpson's innocence, the defense will obtain that information through this process.
Simpson's trial is set to begin September 19th.
Well, the remnants of Tropical Storm Beryl are headed north today, leaving widespread devastation behind in South Carolina. Cleanup resumes today in Lexington, South Carolina, where officials say at least 35 people were injured and 40 to 50 buildings were damaged or destroyed. This was one of 6 tornadoes that were spun off from South Carolina's tropical storm. The state has asked for federal disaster relief. Another tornado spun off the storm struck near Hickory, North Carolina last night, just northwest of Charlotte. The hardest hit area was in Catawba County, outside of Hickory, where several people lost their homes. North Carolina's governor wants disaster assistance for those hardest hit.
A blaze that raged across 65 miles of Central California was nearly half contained today, but some hot spots in the rugged hilly area remain too dangerous to attack. Calmer wind helped firefighters battling the 45,000-acre blaze, which was 48% contained this morning. That's significant progress in a blaze that raged unchecked for days.
Well, if you are looking for the most livable city in Indiana, take a look in Money Magazine's latest issue. The magazine's 8th annual review of 300 cities nationwide names 12 Hoosier metropolitan areas. Lafayette is the big winner this year, jumping from 125 last year to 33rd this year. Indianapolis made the list but dropped drastically from 109 to 223rd. But another Indiana town included in the survey, Bloomington, Muncie, Fort Wayne, and Gary were all listed.
Wonder what happened to Indianapolis. Make us drop.
Well, may have been the crime.
Yeah, that too. Up next, hot and muggy conditions will ease back into the forecast. It's August again. Chuck Lofton has details live from the State Fair.
Plus, we'll show you some of the fair's unusual pets on parade. And did a mouse, is it giving Dream Teamer Reggie Miller nightmares? He talks with Jay Leno about it next on News Channel 13 at noon.
Chuck Lofton's forecast is backed by AccuWeather and carries the seal of approval from the National Weather Association.
Beautiful weather again today, but Chuck says it's going to get warmer.
Well, I guess that can be
It's
good or
August,
bad.
you know.
Let's go to Chuck now at the Indiana State Fair and find out just how good or how bad that is.
Well, good afternoon, Kevin. Beautiful day out here today. We, of course, are at the Farmers' Day Parade. The annual event's been held here for decades, and it's just about ready to wrap up. A little bit later, we're going to take a look at what's going on here today with Jeremy Rogalski, who's going to give us a State Fair update. Let's take a look at the current conditions right now, though, out at the National Weather Service. And currently, 80 degrees, warmest we've had around here in a while. The winds are out of the northeast at 7. And the barometer is falling at 30.04. We want to show you something neat. This lead car here is a 1912 Model T that's from Crawfordsville. From Anderson. And we've got in back of it a 1914 Runabout. These cars sold for about $600 new back in the early part of this century, but it's just one of the many cars and neat events that's going on here at the State Fair. Hey, speaking of fair, the weather is more like fair weather. It looks like we're going to get back to that real fair weather now. 84 degrees today, even though it's cooler here in the grandstand. 84 Thursday, 86 by Friday, and the hottest day of the week, Saturday, at 88 degrees. So it looks like things are beginning to change now. Speaking of change, take a look at what we're expecting today. This mild flow of air coming out of the east, and even though it's warming up, it's a real nice breeze out there. Also notice that area of low pressure out to the west. That is going to bring some rain our way probably by sometime tomorrow. You can see this rainfall chart I've drawn for you. By 10 o'clock Thursday, we should have some rain in west central Indiana, though I don't think any now. In fact, we're not even thinking of rain now. It's just so pretty as we have farmers from all over the state of Indiana here for this very special Farm Bureau Agriculture on Parade Day. You'll notice now the clear skies here. Of course, the remnants of Burl still with some very heavy rain along the eastern seaboard. We're expecting in portions of Virginia today 2 to 4 inches of rain. Also notice that rain out to our west. That's associated with that area of low pressure that's moving into Iowa now. Now the forecast for the rest of the day goes like this. Sun and clouds with a high of 84 degrees. Lovely. This evening, another nice cool night down to 64. And then tomorrow, we do expect some thunderstorms in the afternoon here in the metro area, though they will be scattered. Beautiful day. Jeremy's going to be along in just a few minutes to tell you more about it. But this is always a fun day, Kevin and Glendal, out at the State Fair, because you really get a taste of what agriculture is like here in the state of Indiana.
Oh, and the world of automotives. I love those
absolutely.
cars, Chuck. $600. Could you imagine?
And that was a lot of money back then. I mean, you had to be a big shot to get a car like that.
Good point. Just like you got to be a big shot to get one today.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Chuck.
On our noon People Watch now, Indiana Pacer Reggie Miller has come into his own as a rising celebrity. Fresh from his Dream Team 2 World Basketball Championship, the Pacer guard appeared on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno last night. The two joked about an upcoming article in Sports Illustrated that describes Reggie as shrieking when a small mouse ran through the Toronto locker room.
The matchups, out of the corner of my eye, I see a big rat.
No, it's a little tiny.
No. It was this big.
Wait, show me how big it is. That's big.
And the tail.
That's a small dog.
And the tail was that long. I'm telling you the
What
truth.
country were you in? Transylvania? Where were you when you saw it?
That's why.
It was a big. This is a
I
rat.
saw it at the corner of my eye, and then it jumped on Sean Kipp's shoe, and then ran into this big hole about this big. It ran into the hole.
Let me ask you
and
something.
I got up because...
Let me ask you something. Did the hole look like that in the baseboard?
It did. And I jumped
Was a coyote chasing it too?
When asked who would win the World Series matchup between Dream Team 1 and 2, Reggie says youth would prevail. He claims Dream Team 2 would easily outlast its predecessors. If I saw a mouse that big, I'd be running. So
I take it Reggie was the only one running in the locker room, and that's the point.
Can you see him running from a rat?
Coming later on News Channel 13 at noon, disturbing new research on teenage pregnancy says young mothers often have 2 children before the age of 20.
But just ahead, visitors are flocking to State Fair in record numbers this week. Among today's attractions, Pets on Parade. We'll take you live out at the fair, Farmers Day. Next.
Well, the State Fair is filled with an authentic Hoosier flavor today. It's Farmers Day at the fair, and the News Channel's Jeremy Rogalski is live at the fairgrounds with more. Jeremy?
Hi, Kevin. You know, Farmers Day is indeed a big day here at the fair. It's a day to showcase and honor all the Hoosiers who for years have worked day in and day out and worked this land for day in and day out. They're the ones who give the breadbasket of America its name. Now, earlier today, during the parade, probably it was shown, the rich heritage of farming in Indiana was probably shown best by all the equipment made right here in the Hoosier State, like co-op tractors made in Shelbyville, for example, or Alice Chalmers' line made in LaPorte. There were some beauties out here, and some say it remembers the old days.
You're going to see more and more big farms involved in it and less family farms, which is, I don't think that's good, but I think times and technology is going to cause it to happen. So I don't know, I guess it's good, but when you watch these old tractors and things here today, we kind of think back of Grandpa and Dad's day and how it was. They had a hard life, but they had a good life.
Now, there were some members of the younger generation here today at the pet parade. Check out this, if you will. 6-year-old James Lofton of Hamilton County takes a spill on his donkey. And then the youngest member at the pet parade, this is 1.5-year-old Preston Ward with his rooster, the Plymouth rooster named Rockadoo, and he kind of hams it up here for the camera, at least tries to take a wave over there. Good job, Preston. 1.5 years old, the youngest participant in this fair, and over on the sidelines, his counterpart says, hey, we're just kidding around out here. So a lot of fun, Kevin, here live at the State Fair. Of course, we'll have more for you tonight at 5 o'clock.
Jeremy, the fair is for kids of all ages, I think.
Certainly
Thank you very
is.
much.
Sure.
Here's just a reminder of what's coming up at your Indiana State Fair later on today. Country music's Artist of the Year nominee Brooks and Dunn will be taking the stage at 7:30 tonight, along with special guest Faith Hill. The Blue Ribbon Horse Pull will be taking place this afternoon at the Pepsi Coliseum at 3 and then at 7 o'clock tonight. And square and round dancing at 7 and 9:30 at the Pork Producers Country Corral.
You ever tried that? Square dancing?
Square dancing, yes, not
have?
round dancing, though.
Well, you got one up on me. I never tried either one.
No, it's fun.
Is it?
We ought to try sometime.
No. Coming up on the News Channel, I don't think so.
Chicken.
At noon, yes. New studies on teen pregnancy show that some of the youngest mothers often repeat their mistake within 2 years.
Our Focus Report examines on the growing problem of teen mothers. Dr. Diane Brashear joins us next. A newly released study has some disturbing statistics about teen pregnancy.
Teenage mothers who have their first children before age 17 are more likely to have another child in less than 2 years.
Our family and marriage counselor, Dr. Diane Brashear, joins us now to talk about teen pregnancy problem and the implications of this new research. Dr. Brashear, first of all, why do teens have another child so close to the birth of their first child?
You know, this study's been very helpful because one of the things it points out is that young women or girls who have their first baby under age 17 are more likely not to have educational aspirations and are more likely to come from a poor background. And so having another baby for them may be a positive thing in a sense. But if a girl does look forward to increasing her education, having a career, then she's more likely to delay even the second pregnancy. And so I think that again tells us that we have to help young girls plan for their future.
So there is a direct tie possibly to the mother's economic background.
You bet. Yeah, very much so. And also, but economic background really ties to education. And so if we work with our young women and try to help them to have improved education, skills where they can earn a living, take care of themselves, they're more likely to delay pregnancy.
We're hearing so much about teen pregnancy. Do you think the problem is getting out of hand, or we're just hearing more about teens and pregnancy?
I think we're learning more details about teen pregnancy, like this study. I think some people are suggesting that probably there is a decrease in teen pregnancy, as there is a decrease perhaps in all pregnancies. But what we have learned now is those groups that are more vulnerable to pregnancy, and particularly those who are having more than one pregnancy during their teen years.
All right, Dr. B, quickly, how can we discourage this?
I think help these young girls and their boyfriends understand that there's a life other than just having babies and playing house, that they need to get on with their lives in terms of careers.
All right, Dr. Brashear, thank you.
Coming up on News Channel 13 at noon, a happy ending to a pilfered pooch story.
And are the dog days of summer returning to central Indiana? Chuck Lofton's AccuWeather update is just ahead.
Before you go away this summer.
In an ongoing story today, the White House is expecting a resignation from Deputy Treasury Secretary Roger Altman. Administration sources say it could come before the end of the day. Altman is accused of misleading Congress with Whitewater testimony. He acknowledged one contact with the White House during the Whitewater investigation, while later information revealed up to 40 different contacts.
Let's go to Chuck now out at the fair where they're setting up for the Brooks and Dunn concert tonight.
Yes, they are, Glendal, and you're looking live at the crew preparing for the stage. They're preparing the stage right now, and look at this. This almost looks like a rock concert stage, which I guess is what country music is turning into now. This reminds me of an old electric light orchestra set up for a stage, but Brooks and Dunn in concert a little bit later on tonight here at the State Fair. Let's take a look at the satellite map. Clear skies overhead, as you can see right now, and really we're going to have a beautiful day with some sunshine, a high of 84 degrees tonight. We're down to 64. We'll talk more about a warm-up on the way. Should hit 88 by Saturday. Bob will have more on that tonight, live at 5 here on News Channel 13. Kevin and Glendal?
Great day today. You enjoy it. Thank you, Chuck.
In New York, the tale of a pilfered pooch, and it has a happy ending. Ellie the dachshund was reunited with her owners after a woman discovered the dog wandering in Midtown Manhattan. Saturday, Ellie was snatched from her family's van while they were vacationing in New York from Alaska. The family mounted a massive search, sending out posters and asking strangers about her whereabouts. She's safe and sound now and on her way back home.
Poor dog. Well, thank you for spending part of your day with us. I'm Glendal Jones.
And I'm Kevin Rader. Come back again and see us tomorrow. Rush Limbaugh is up next. Enjoy your Wednesday.